I saw you on TikTok. I just saw an ankle monitor, or what I assume is an ankle monitor. That's pretty much the extent I know about you. I know that you've kind of branded yourself online as the ankle baddie. Am I correct?
Ankle monitor baddie.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes, I forgot monitor. Ankle monitor baddie. But your real name's Maddie.
Yes.
And you're from LA?
So I'm born in Idaho. I grew up between Idaho and Virginia. Okay. And then, because my mom's in Virginia, my dad's in Idaho. And then I went back to college for Idaho because I'm Native American. So my tribe paid for my school. So I could go to school. Basically, I could only go to college in Idaho if I wanted free college. So I went there back to Idaho, and then I studied fashion and business, and I fell in love with fashion. So I moved to New York, and I lived in New York for 2 years. I lived in like Harlem for 9 months, and then I lived on 97 Amsterdam, for a year and a half.
Nice.
Loved New York. Yep. Was like, I'm staying here forever, because why the fuck not? And then I was drinking all the time, working in fashion. Like, I'm sure you know how it is. Happy hour, events, networking. That's like kind of my thing. So didn't get in trouble like in New York. And then I moved to LA 2 years, like when the pandemic happened, I was in New York, and then I was like, screw this. I moved back to Virginia for a little bit, and then I was in Idaho for my cousin's wedding, and then I ended up coming to LA, but no plans of like living here or like staying here for as long as I did. So I kind of like came here. I really liked the warm weather, and I was like, I'm just gonna like couch surf and like see how long I can stay out here for free, because I was working remote job in New York, and I was like, this is amazing. I can get paid to like go to the beach and work, and like I basically just was on vacation. And so I found some friends like from high school out here and like family, and I was just staying with them. And then 2 months passed, and my parents were like, are you coming back home? Like, what the heck are you doing? And I was like, no, I'm just really like called to stay out here. So I found a place, missed my flight home a bunch of times, ended up meeting this guy who was like, I have a room. And I was like, $1,000, I'll move in. So
just
that's
a random guy.
Yeah, like friend of a friend.
Okay.
My New York friends were here visiting. So then they were his friend, and I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So I moved in there at Echo Park. And then I got kicked out of that place after a month because I stole my roommate's rental car.
That'll get you kicked out.
And so then I ended up living like on the west side, like outside of Santa Monica. And I've been here for a year and a half, and my original plan was, I don't know, I had no plan. So I stayed in Santa Monica on the west side, and I was dog sitting, house sitting, taking care of a dog. I was unemployed for a year. So this was 2020, and I was getting New York unemployment, which was like $700 a week.
Yeah, it was great.
And everyone was like benefiting off of that. So I was like, now is my time. So I took care of a dog, and basically I just got to like walk the dog, get my coffee in the morning, like look for rich hot dads to like hopefully date. I didn't find any, but I did that for a year, and I had a lot of free time. And so that's when like I was partying here, and I got in trouble, and basically I had too much free time, and I was just like, then I got in trouble, and then I got the ankle monitor.
Okay, wait, pause. Let's because that's obviously going to be the big reveal, but and I'm so excited to understand how we get there. But we'll slow down for a second. So I did see on your Instagram, it says you're 7 months sober. Is that true?
Yeah, of course.
Which, first of all, well, congratulations. That really is a big deal.
Thank you.
And I totally get it. Like the New York nightlife, especially, you know, after college and everything, it does become just drinking. I mean, it is insane. Yeah. And I think LA, to my knowledge, is very similar to that. Like, you're in two very fast crowds, so to speak. Let's start with the roommate's car, though. Did you know you were stealing it?
So So when I came here, I didn't have a car. And so at the time I was dating this guy, this 39-year-old comedian, and I was in love with him. We were dating. He didn't know that we were dating. But we were. I was madly in love with him. And
is he famous?
At this point, though,
you're not going to tell me who it is, but I'm just curious. Is he famous?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, like he has a blue check mark.
Okay.
But anyway, so I was at the time like seeing this guy, and I was talking to my friends from New York. They were like, he doesn't like you. Like, he would go days without talking to me. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna end things. So I left my jacket and my AirPods at his house. I was like, I have to get it back. So my roommate was like out, and he was like, can somebody pick me up later? And I was like, yeah, I can. And he was like, okay, like the other roommate will give you the keys later. And I was like, well, I'll just go find the keys myself and like drive, like have 2 hours and then pick him up. So I was like, I'll go to dinner with the guy, get my stuff back, and then go pick up my roommate. And so I went to dinner and ended up falling in love with the guy again. And then he ended up texting the group like, oh, it's okay, I'll just walk home, I'm 5 minutes away. And then he goes home and he's like, wait, do you have my car? And I was like, yeah. And then I ended up staying the night at this other dude's house who I was at dinner with.
The comedian.
And we took like edibles, and I could not drive. And I was like, I can't drive. And they were texting me in the group chat like, good luck finding parking, good luck getting the car home, like you better not get a parking ticket with my car. And I was like, I took that as don't come home. So I was like, okay. And then I ended up going home the next morning. My roommate freaked out. I actually made a TikTok about it, and he was like, if you want to keep living here, you need to like scrub the floors and like get on your hands and knees and clean my bathroom. And I was like, no thanks. So I made a TikTok about it because I was recording him because I didn't know what he was going to do. I put it on YouTube and shortly got kicked out after. Yeah. Returned the car in the morning though, but... So I borrowed his...
Yeah, borrowed. I feel like you didn't really steal it. Like, your intention wasn't malicious. Yeah. You weren't, like, trying to sell it on Craigslist.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to drive, like, high home. I was so high, like, on edibles. I wasn't going to do that. And I would say, like, the most important thing was that I returned it in one piece. I returned it safely. So, in my eyes, like, so I didn't see what I did wrong.
Are you, like... leading up to everything that we're about to hear, like were you a goody two-shoe growing up, like, or were you always kind of this badass? Like, when did you start getting into drinking and partying and all that stuff, or is this just like out of nowhere?
No, definitely. So my parents had me when they were very young, like 20s, and then they got divorced right away. I grew up mostly with my mom, so I didn't really have a dad around, like, to discipline me or to, like, he wasn't in the house. So I was like, no dad, no rules. So basically it started when I was 16. I just decided that I was going to do whatever I wanted and just, like, I don't know, disregard everyone else. So at 16, I started partying in high school, and we would, like, go to these parties and, like, end up having to run away from the cops. And we were always getting drunk. Like, me and my friends would buy like a whole gallon of Burnett's alcohol, and we would mark like the amount of shots we would take before we went out. And sometimes like the goal was like to be blacked out before we left the house. Yeah. And so my mom would like come in, we were taking shots. She would like hide the alcohol. She would take the alcohol. She would yell. So it started when I was 16, the drinking, the partying, the like staying out late. I would lie to my mom.
Are you close with your mom now?
Yeah, we're pretty close. It just like I would always lie to her, and it wasn't until like one day I came home, she like kind of like tackled me to the ground and was like, stop lying to me. And I was like, okay. So I would tell her I'm going to a party, and she would be like, no. And I would be like, yeah. And I would just stay out all night. Oh shit.
It's okay.
Sorry. And so basically the partying and drinking started there. I went to college and I was 18, alone in Idaho.
Yeah,
I think my cousin was a senior there, but I don't think I ever saw her. And I was like, this is the only time I'm gonna be allowed to like party my ass off and like no responsibilities. So I went to the extreme in college. I blacked out a lot. I joined a sorority, and my sorority was like, when you go out, like, don't tell anyone that you're a Delta Zeta. And for me, I went out to all the fraternities, and I was like, I'm a Delta Zeta. I'm the coolest Delta Zeta that you'll ever meet. Like, they're all boring and lame, and like, look at me. Mm-hmm. And I would just do, like, I would hear things that I did, and I would be like, that wasn't me. Like, I would get blackballed from fraternities. I'm blackballed from like almost all of them at the University of Idaho. A lot of people know me just because of like me being drunk and getting blacked out. Like, I don't know, showing my boobs, like laying on a pool table saying crucify me.
Did you
that happened my first week.
That you had a drinking problem? Like, to this day, do you think you had a drinking problem? Do you think you have a drinking problem?
I kind of like knew when I was like 16 or 18. I knew because like when I would drink, I would just want to keep going. And I knew like, okay, like, well, I better get all of this out. So that's why in college, I kind of knew. I was like, now this is the only time I'll be allowed to drink like an excessive amounts with like little to no responsibility or consequences. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I guess I did it so much. I kind of like always knew deep down, mm-hmm. but I would never like seek help, or I didn't even know like what there is to do. I was just like, okay, when I'm 25, I'll stop drinking.
Yeah.
Or like when I'm an adult. And
how old are you now?
I guess I'm 27.
27. Okay, yeah. So 7 months ago. Mm-hmm. Take us to like the week before whatever you're about to tell us. Are you at like you're drinking hardcore, like you're just kind of at your rock bottom, so to speak, or how does this all go down?
Okay, so basically I guess everything sort of for me happened in May 2020.
Okay, May 2020. Was it 2021?
2021. Yeah.
Last summer. Not peak of COVID, the year after peak of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was May. I was, I want to say unemployed. Mm-hmm. I was unemployed, and I actually started a podcast in January of that year mm-hmm. called the F-Boy Podcast mm-hmm. Because I was like, every single guy I date is a fuckboy. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck them. I'm going to make a whole podcast about it. So that's what I was doing, and that was fun. But anyways, I don't do it anymore. But I met a lot of people during that time, and basically what I was trying to do is like just my podcast, like, and I have a fashion brand. So I was just trying to do those two, like, you know, solo. Didn't have a 9 to 5, didn't have any job. So I was drinking and partying, and I don't want to say like, okay, it was kind of excessive, like every other day or sometimes every day. So I was actually with a high school friend and her boyfriend, like catching up at Santa Monica Proper Hotel. Mm-hmm. And we were just having sushi, having some drinks, like catching up with the old friend. But actually, like during this time, I was drinking and driving because in LA, like cops like rarely pull you over, and there's like kind of like no cops anywhere. But this was Memorial Day weekend, so for some reason, my friend and her boyfriend were like, okay, we're going to dinner, like we already have reservations, like bye. So I thought it would be a good idea to drive to Hollywood to see this F-boy that I was seeing, making out with. So I decided to drive to his house, and on the way there, like I don't even want to say I was like blacked out, but I had 5 or 6 drinks. Wow. I was actually speeding. I was going like 90 or 100 because 2 days before that I was riding in this guy's Lamborghini and he was going like 120 on the highway. So I was like, I could do that. That's fun. So
I can't believe speeding. How far did you make it from Santa Monica to Hollywood?
I honestly ended up like in Van Nuys. I missed my exit like probably 3 times. And so just speeding, and then I saw a cop behind me, and there was a bus right here. So I like went in front of the bus, and the cop was like behind the bus, and I was like, oh, I lost him. And then I had to like pull off the exit, and the cop pulled me over. I like didn't want to come out of the car. My windows were rolled up. He was like, I'm gonna break your window. I was calling like dudes, and I was like, please come and save me. Like I thought I could get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got out of the car, and I really had to pee, and they were trying to do like the sobriety test.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I have to pee. I can't do it. Like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And there was some random dude standing like outside of his apartment, and I was like, can I use your bathroom? And he's like, yeah. And the cops were like, no. And I was like, at this point also, my hair was 2 different colors, blonde and brown.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was like purple, but you get the point. Like, basically, I turned into like Harley Quinn,
mm-hmm.
and I was yelling, I was screaming, and I was like, you're not letting me use the bathroom, like what the fuck? And so I was like, I can't do the sobriety test because I have to pee, like I'm not doing it. And then they tried to do the breathalyzer. I was like, nope, not doing it. So then I was yelling, and they were trying to like put my hands behind my back, and I was like, no. And I was like, no. And they were like trying to put my hands behind my back, and they couldn't. And I was like, do you guys like even work out? Like, I can give you my personal trainer's phone number. Like, do you work out? And I was just talking a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And so more cops came, and then
amazing that they needed so many cops to restrain you.
Yeah, so they put me in the handcuffs, and then they put me in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time they like got me or whatever, there were like 5 cop cars and like 8 cops.
Mm-hmm.
So they like tackled me to the ground, like cars are driving by, like recording. I'm really surprised I haven't seen it, like the footage anywhere. But
yeah.
So they get me in the car, and I think they put me in like not a cop car, because somehow like I got out of the handcuffs easily because my wrists are really small, and I just had so much like adrenaline, and like I was like, whatever. So I got out of the handcuffs. I opened the car door
on the highway.
And we were like on the side of the highway, or like we were pulled off at an exit.
Got it.
We weren't on the highway at all. So I like get out of the car, and I try to like run away, and that didn't work out. So then they put me again in a different cop car.
Well, how did they catch you? They just ran after you?
I didn't get very far.
Yeah, okay.
And so then they handcuffed me again. They put me in the cop car. They put like the chains like on my legs and stuff. Like I got out of it again. So I got out of the handcuffs twice, and then by the time I was arrested, like there was a cop car and like cop in the back seat with me, and I was like, don't fucking touch me, like don't fucking look at me. And so then resisted arrest. I may or may not have kicked a cop like on the way down when they were tackling me, like I kicked one.
Do they have body cam footage of all this? Like, have you seen the body cam footage?
Oh, I'm sure. But like my lawyer, I got a lawyer obviously, and so I never saw the footage. It didn't get to that point, because if they saw the footage, I probably would have gotten more charges. I don't know.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
So then we get to jail, and I'm like, it's probably, I get arrested at like 7 p.m. maybe, like it's still light outside. So then we get to jail at like maybe 8 or 9, and I'm like, I have COVID, and they were like, we have to go to the hospital and like give you a rapid test.
You didn't actually have COVID though. You were trying to like
no, I was avoiding like jail, like sitting there at all costs, because I know I would be sitting there till like 5-6 a.m. So then we go to the hospital, and I kept saying like, I'm not doing anything until the sergeant gets here. So we go to the hospital, and we did the COVID test that took 3 hours. We were there for 3 hours.
Oh my
the sergeant
God.
comes. And still, I'm like shit talking all the other cops. I'm like, is your wife cheating on you? Like, your shoes untied? And I was just being like absolutely crazy, like Harley Quinn kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sergeant came, and he put zip ties on my hands. And then COVID test came back. It was negative. I go back to jail. And then for some reason, he was doing like the fingerprints, like there's black ink everywhere. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I pretended to wipe it on him. So the cop changed my bail from $0 to $25,000 and put me in the jail. And I like, when you go to jail, you get like a sheet, you can write numbers, phone numbers. And I like lost the sheet, the Post-it note. So then this cop, I was like, I lost my phone numbers. She's like, you're
fucked.
And so I didn't call my parents. I never really called my parents when I went to jail. Like, this has probably been like the 10th or so time I've been arrested, because I've been getting arrested since I was 17.
But is this the most serious time you've been arrested, or?
Yeah, because I was driving.
Yeah.
All the other times were like drinking, minor in consumption, minor in possession. Mm-hmm. In college, I kicked someone's car window in and I got like a battery charge that got dropped to just disturbing the peace. But this was like always a constant thing. Like,
yeah, but you have a record.
Call my grandma. No, I actually...
Really? Everything was expunged up until this?
Nothing was expunged, but like I had a disturbing the peace charge. I guess like I had the minor in consumption, minor in possession, but that's like a misdemeanor.
Yeah, that you had a misdemeanor record.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't, and then I don't know, but all I know is like some of it is expunged, and then like the charges that I did get are going to be expunged, hopefully soon. But anyway, so I'm in jail and I call like the guy that I was dating, and then
my comedian?
Grandma. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I call, actually we weren't dating at this point, but we were still like really good friends. We're still good friends. So I called him, and then I called my grandma. My grandma's usually always the one to like bail me out of jail. Mm-hmm. She was not answering. So then all I had left was like this 1-800 bail bonds number. So I called that number. And then they actually like called my mom in Virginia, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then my mom like had to like find my roommate on Instagram, and found my roommate through the dogs that I dog sit, through his Instagram, because I made the dog's Instagram. Mm-hmm. So my mom went to the dog's Instagram, found my roommate, and then my roommate actually like knew a bail bonds guy who like owed him a favor, because he used to be in the FBI.
Wow.
So he actually ended up bailing me out. Well, my mom paid for it, and then my roommate picked me up.
Okay.
And then that's
so at this point, were you there for like 24 hours or?
So I was there. Okay, so it was like a Sunday, I think, when I actually got arrested. It was a Sunday, and so I was there until like 6 a.m. and they were like, you're not going to be able to go to court until Wednesday, because Monday was a holiday. Mm-hmm. So I was like freaking out, because if I've never been in jail longer than like less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
And it was just so gross in there. So I thought there was like a little part that I was of me that was like, you're not getting out till Wednesday. But through like, I guess my roommate and a miracle, I got out the next day.
So what happens that next day?
So my roommate picked me up, and then I obviously, my roommate is like a 50-year-old like male ex-FBI guy.
Okay.
So.
And you found that guy, friend of a friend?
So that's actually like another story.
Yeah, that seems like
of how we met. But so he picked me up, and then like, I kind of he was like, what are you doing? Like, you can't like live your life this way. Like, I kind of got the talk, like, you can't be doing this. You're 27 years old. Like, what's going on? And then I don't know, we had to go to the bail bond guy. Okay, so we go to the bail bond guy, and the bail bond guy is like ex-prison, like tatted up, like, and he's like, you need to change your life. Like, if you don't change your life, you're gonna like end up in jail, or you're gonna kill someone, or you're gonna kill yourself. And then they were like, you have a lot of like it's obvious that you have like a lot of anger inside of you. Like you need to take some like martial arts or like boxing classes because like you can't be drinking anymore. Basically, they're like, you can't, like, you need to change your life. And then I was like, okay. So then from there, we went home and I had to talk to my parents. It's the same kind of thing. They're like, when are you gonna like be done with this? We're sick of these calls. Like, you're 27, you're almost 30 years old. We want you to be successful. Because I never really thought that, like, I had a problem, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess this was kind of, like, my wake-up call. Because, like, I was driving drunk, but I didn't kill anyone. I didn't hurt anyone or myself, which is...
So that's just luck,
like,
right?
a miracle. Yeah, because it could have been way worse. So then, yeah, my parents were like, you can't do this anymore. And they're like, you need to hire a lawyer. We're not gonna, and I was like, okay, like, can you help me pay for it? They were like, no. So I kind of had to do everything on my own. They ended up helping me out a little bit, but like,
how did you, well, yeah, there's a million questions I have right now. When did you get sober in all of this? Like, did you go to treatment or did you go to AA?
After that, I got a lawyer. My lawyer was like, you should go to AA and you should be sober. Mm-hmm. And at least, like, I had to go to AA for court. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'm never going to go there on my own. Mm-hmm. Like, that's weird. And I went to, like, the website, and it was really overwhelming. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm doing this. So I ended up, like, going on my Instagram saying, like, oh, I'm going to be sober for 30 days. And this girl that I met partying was like, are you actually trying to be sober? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, meet me here. And so she took me to like meetings. And so then once I started like going to meetings and like meeting sober people, I was like, okay, like I'm definitely like have a drinking problem. And so I tried to stay sober after the incident or whatever. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting like 70 days. So I was sober like June, July, August. Mm-hmm. But then in September, I drank again because I was with this guy. I was like, you know, Bumble dating or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was with this guy and we were at Wally's in Santa Monica, which is like, I don't know if they have a Wally's in New York.
No, I don't think
so. It's just like a great restaurant with like wine like on the walls, okay. Like, you know, bougie. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to drink. So I ended up drinking and then, I don't know, I just started drinking kind of every day again.
Yeah.
And
were you still going to meetings or telling people that you were sober?
No, I think I just took a break.
Okay.
Just took a little break for like a month. And I was like,
what's going on with, dating. Let me pause. We have to restart this chat because it's doing the upgrade thing. 1 second. This is a good pausing point. Okay, 1 second. I'll send you a new link. Okay. Is your thing still recording?
Can you hear me?
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you again.
I can't hear you. Hello?
Hold on. Join with...
Hey.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is your voice note still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, we're back. So in that gap between May and September, when you relapse, what's going on court-wise? Where do you stand with the law?
So I got a lawyer and basically, I guess, so how everything kind of happened, when they first like charged me or whatever, like when they gave me the sheet in jail, it said like 69 PC, which is a felony. Wait, it says on my shirt. I
those
have like all the charges on here. It was like a felony, I think, for resisting arrest. But then I got the lawyer, and she's like, they're not sure what they're gonna charge you with because they can like add or remove charges. And so these cops, like specifically, were really mad at me.
Yeah.
Because I talked a lot of shit and I kicked one of them, and like it was just, yeah, they were mad at me. So I guess the felony changed into 6 misdemeanor charges. So that was like resisting arrest, running away, like trying to escape a police officer, refusing all of the like tests, because I also refused the blood test in jail, which you're not supposed to do. And then driving under the influence. I don't even know. Resisting arrest, running away.
It's okay. I mean, you don't have to read your shirt. I don't want to do that to you. So what do they end up? I guess I'm like, how do you? Are you wearing an ankle monitor right now?
Okay, so I got it off.
When? So they gave you
last
one.
Week. Okay, yeah. So they gave me. I remember my charge now. It was like battery against a police officer, driving under the influences, resisting arrest, refusing all of the tests, running away, and I forgot the other one.
Okay,
basically, it was all of that. So what am I like? So then my lawyer was like, "This is a lot of charges. Like they're mad at you. This isn't a normal DUI. I've never seen a case like this before. Like a regular DUI, people get a DUI." And then they could like get it down to reckless driving. For me, I had like 6 charges, and so that's when I knew too. Okay, like this isn't normal. So my lawyer was like, "Start going to AA classes. Start your community service. You're gonna have to do a 9-month DUI class, which by the way, like costs $1,700. And then he cost $6,500. So that was in like June. And then for some reason, my attorney didn't tell me this until like January or February, because it was drawn out for a long period of time because COVID and like just in general, like if you get charged, some people don't end up like going to court until a
courts
year or
were
two
really
later.
behind. Yeah.
It was, I don't know, whatever. So then in January, my attorney was like, "Oh, you know what? Like, I don't know, like, how much of these I can get dismissed, like, or lowered. You might be looking at jail time. Like, this isn't a regular DUI. What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like,
just out of nowhere after like 7 months of living your life.
Yeah. Like, I got a temporary license, because my attorney was like, "By the way, you could technically go to the DMV, get a California license, and be driving." And I'm like, and get your temporary license. And I was like, bet. So from May to December, I was living like a regular life.
Yeah.
And so then in January, I got a letter that says, "Your license is suspended for a year." That sucks. So thank God I was working from home at that time. So I got that. And then my lawyer was like, "Oh, and by the way, like, we don't know what we're going to do with these charges. I tried talking to the prosecutor. They're mad. They're really upset. They could turn these into felonies. You're looking at jail time." And so he was like, "It would look really good if you started the ankle monitor, which is called a Scram bracelet." He's like, "It would look good if you started wearing one of these voluntarily. And when we go to court, they're probably going to make you wear it anyway, so you might as well just go and put it on now." And I'm like,
never heard of that.
Yeah, so it's called a Scram bracelet. I don't know if you remember, but Lindsay Lohan had one.
Great.
So basically what it does is it tracks your alcohol. It can track if you drink alcohol. It can track if like alcohol is poured on you, because it will like, it collects a sample of your sweat, like every few hours or whatever, it will vibrate And actually it could vibrate like 20 times a day, like at any time.
Wow.
Which was also like embarrassing because I would like be on dates with guys and like wear jeans and like it would vibrate. It kind of sounds like a phone going off. Or at work, I had to wear it at work. So basically,
could you take it off like at any point?
You can't take it off. No.
Okay, so you went somewhere and they screwed it onto you.
They basically, they screw it onto you. It's basically like being in jail, like outside of jail. But
can they track you with it? So it's not an ankle monitor in the traditional sense of like, you're not on house arrest.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's a blood alcohol.
Yeah. So it tracks if I drink alcohol. So basically, I couldn't drink alcohol even if I wanted to. Like, otherwise, if I did, I would go to jail. Yeah. If I drove, even right now, if I got in the car and drove, got pulled over, I'm going to jail. Yeah. So
how long?
So I ended up going to court in February, and so they reduced it down to 2 charges, misdemeanor charges that can get expunged in like a year. Which I was like, whatever. I was so scared of like going to jail. Yeah. So then I was like, whatever. I just don't want to go to jail. And then the ankle monitor for 90 days. So in February, it was basically February to May. I just got it off like 2 days ago. Wow. Or like a week ago. So 90 days of the ankle monitor, 3 years like unsupervised probation. And I guess that means also like if I break the law, I go to jail. So like if I get in a fight with anyone, I can't get in a fight because I'm violent. And what else? Oh yeah, so to have the ankle monitor thingy on was like $375 a month.
Oh my God, you had to pay for that?
Yeah, $150 to install. And it was like,
was it uncomfortable?
Yeah, $1,700 for the DUI class. I have like a scar, but like it was like wearing it. Oh my God. Thankfully I was working from home, but like it was just like depressing. Like I was depressed some days, especially when I had to go back to the office. I wanted to kill myself, like, yeah. And it's so chunky. Like I work out, so like I still had to go to the gym, but I would cover it with like an ace bandage thing. And then like my outfits were limited. I couldn't wear like over the knee boots, and like for me that's important because I'm in fashion, and like part of what I wear is like who I am. Yeah. Going to the pool, like I've been to the pool, but I can't get in the water, can't get in the beach.
Oh wow. What'd you do for showering?
You can still shower with it.
You just can't submerge it.
Yeah. So, but I actually went to the beach anyway, and I would just cover it. And then I accidentally, like this guy I'm dating, my boyfriend, we were at the beach and he was like carrying me, and I like kind of fell in, and that kind of fucked it up. But I just did all the shit anyway, because I'm like, but they tell you, they're like, you can't go to the beach, you can't take a bath, you can't submerge it in water, you can't wear perfume, you can't use mouthwash. Yeah, I'm still wearing my Chanel perfume every day. I still wear perfume. I was like, you're not taking that away. I still went to the beach. I think I got sand in it because I had to get a new one. But
so where's your head at with like, because it seems like in a sense you're still kind of like fuck the system, which like I get because they fucked you. But like, where's your head at? Are you still scared though of getting arrested, or are you like wanting to drink? Like, where are you in your sobriety journey with everything?
Yeah. So after like I relapsed in September, I went back to being sober because I'm like, okay, I have to do this for real now. Yeah. And part of that was like, you know, so we can show the court, the judge, like she actually is sober. Yeah. But so in February I got the ankle monitor on, so I had to be sober February, March, April, May.
Yeah, totally forced.
So now I'm like 7 months sober. And even before like being sober, kind of like after this whole thing happened, like I have to be sober. Like I cannot drink. Otherwise I'm going to end up like in jail or dead or killing someone.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, I understand the legal consequence if you do those things, but in yourself, like, do you want a change, or are you like, I just don't want to go to jail?
No, I definitely want to be sober. I want to stay sober. I realize like, just like it makes me feel like I feel so much better. Like, you know, after stopping like drinking alcohol, like your body, like, you know, gets rid of all the toxins. Like I lost weight. I feel so much better. Like my head is like clearer. Like I don't get like, you know, hangover or like anxiety from like hangover, you know, whatever, sad Sunday or whatever you call it. But like I don't get that anymore. Like I remember everything I do. I have sober friends and like I can do, you know, anything and stay sober. Like I could go to the club with my girlfriends and like drink Red Bull all night and like have a good time. But like in the beginning it was like hard to like
of course
do that kind of thing. But like I love being sober and like I have to be sober. So like it's just not a choice. Like, and I realized that like even if I
because a lot of people
drink,
well, when a lot of people get sober, like you know, they go to rehab and it is kind of this was like rehab forced in your own life without the rehab.
Yeah, like people would ask me like, oh, like, are you in a sober living? Like, are you in a rehab? What rehab did you go to? And I'm like, no, dude, like I did it all on my own, which is like some people, everyone has their different stories, but yeah, I'm in therapy. I just started therapy actually, but like a lot of people who you like have to like be sober or like in a rehab or like, you know, like their rock bottom was like they were homeless or whatever. So like getting the DUI was like my rock bottom where I was like, I have to change my life. 100%. Otherwise. And then like my friends, like I've always known because like guys that I've dated in New York, like I dated guys I dated in New York and then like the comedian guy and like I dated a famous actor in New York and like I had a period where I would date like 40-year-old men. And so like these guys were like, you need to stop drinking. Like you need to stop partying. Like you're really self-destructive. And so like it's a lot of people had told me this like before I got sober, like you need to like change your life. Like you can't be doing this like because they care about me, you know?
Yeah, totally. So then you kind of decide to make this a brand for yourself, the, you know, Ankle Monitor Baddie. Has your lawyer, is anyone concerned that like that would have negative repercussions?
So as far as like my lawyer, no, because we already went to court. Like the deed is done. That's all done with.
Now
I
it's
just
up
have
to you.
do like community service and like pay a fee. Or whatever the court fee, but actually I could do community labor instead, which is picking up trash on the side of the highway, which I'm totally gonna do, because I'm gonna make a TikTok about it.
Do it.
But so basically, how this all like how the brand or whatever kind of started is for the first like month in February, I was like totally ashamed of it. I was depressed. I was barely leaving my house. I wasn't telling anyone, like, hey, I have an ankle monitor. My parents didn't even know. And I made and then, like, one day I was like, fuck it, you know? Yeah. And I was going to, like, meetings and, like, seeing sober people. I was around a lot of sober people. Like, when I went out, like, I would be around a lot of sober people. And, like, they all thought it was cool because, like, they're sober, you know? And, like, they get
empowering.
it. But, like, normal people don't think it's cool, like they judge you. So then I think it was like March 10th or March 19th, I decided to make a TikTok just to see what would happen, just for fun. And I posted the TikTok and then my mom, it didn't go viral or anything like that much. And then my mom was like, we got a text like in the group family, like, oh my God, what happened? My mom was like, why'd you post that TikTok? And like my family members were asking me. And then I just started posting more about the ankle monitor on TikTok because I thought it was funny and a lot of other people do too because they watch it. And so then like things started going viral and I was like, wait. And I was like, okay, like, one, if Lindsay Lohan can do it, I can do it, the whole thing. And two, like, nobody's on Instagram or TikTok or like on the cover of Vogue with an ankle monitor. I'm like, why not? Like, nobody's like flaunting their ankle monitor. And so I'm like, I'm going to. Because why not? And like, I also wanted to like create awareness about like just like having it and like normalizing that like actually a lot of people have had to have these ankle monitors and like, you know, the stigma around like having an ankle monitor or like being sober or like being an addict or an alcoholic, just like to raise awareness about that. Like, people judge people with ankle monitors. Like, I've personally experienced it. And then when you have one, like, I know like a girlfriend of mine that I met in my DUI class, like, she has one too. And like, nobody's out there like posting about it on the internet. So I was
Stigmatized,
like, I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Totally.
And so I just started. I changed my name to Ankle Monitor Baddie, like, just for fun. I just, you know, see how it goes. You
started owning it, yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna start doing photo shoots. Like, I did full on like glam photo shoots. I bedazzled the ankle monitor, and I actually, so my TikTok was growing, and like, I also work in like social media marketing. So I'm like, this is one way to build TikTok and my Instagram. So like, why the fuck not? Nobody else is doing it. And I think it's like a good, a good way to like raise awareness and like be like, it's okay to have an ankle monitor. And like, if a 100%. Job doesn't want to hire me because of my Instagram or my TikTok, then like, fuck
they're not
you.
the right fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I actually, you know, I made a TikTok. I got a tattoo 2 days ago on my ankle because I got the ankle monitor off, but I did
you get it?
Tattoo.
What'd you get?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we can see it.
What does it say?
It says ankle monitor Baddie.
Oh my God. That's so like everything for you, you know, because it's right there. It's where you had it, and it's kind of the whole story.
Yeah.
And permanently how you've decided to end it, how you've decided to kind of claim it as your own.
Yeah. And I think like after this, I'll just talk about, you know, like sobriety and like how having the ankle monitor changed my life and all of that.
I think that will be great. I think so many people will relate to that. Well, I think you just told your whole story. That was fantastic. My final question that I ask everyone that's totally unrelated is, okay, people are coming to LA. What is your favorite restaurant?
I really like...
It's okay.
I don't know.
Or just what's your go-to spot? It doesn't have to be the hottest spot in town.
So I like Kazunari. They have that in New York. Sushi Roku.
What's your favorite thing at one of these spots? Like, what should someone
Sushi.
go? Okay. Get the sushi at Sushi Roku?
Yeah.
Great.
No, I feel like that's so basic.
That's okay. If it's what you love, it's what you love.
I love pasta. I used to work at the Tasting Kitchen in Venice.
Okay.
Really good Italian food. Mm-hmm. And
that's okay. You got it. Those are two great ones. I'll pick one of those. Okay, cool. So what? Let me think about the kind of queue that I have going right now of episodes. I would probably, if you're down, would want not next week, but the following week, like the Tuesday after Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. Would that be okay with you, or do you want to go further?
No, that's fine. And also, that would be like 1 year since I got the DUI.
Perfect.
Crazy.
Yeah. So let's shoot for that. I mean,
okay.
I think, so I'm looking at time-wise, it'll probably be a shorter episode. I think it'll only be like 30 minutes. I mean, I think you should probably, I'm thinking about it, like, so I'll cut all these for TikTok and whatnot, and I'm happy to send you this footage for, like, the cleaned up audio, but probably for my guess is, I mean, do whatever you want, but for your OnlyFans, you should probably do a different video, is my thinking, and then it looks like you're on multiple outlets, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like you'll want to do it more in your way.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I'll happily send you the whole thing. And yeah, so if you want to pause your recording
Okay.
on